Here's a crazy fact. Only 7% of you guys watching are subscribed. So hit that sub button, it's free, and if you don't like me, you can always unsub in the future. So Rainbow Six Siege is no stranger to crossovers. We have numerous crossover elite skins and other bundles with other games which aren't even Ubisoft related. We have an elite skin from Assassin's Creed for Flores, and we have Sam Fisher not just as a skin, but as a playable operator in the game. And so when I was doing my Sam Fisher lore video, I did talk about how Sam is part of the Rainbow operational staff, and about the fact that he was the only one in that unit. Now I kind of theorized that the whole point of this unit was kind of just to have crossover characters be a part of it. And when you start to think of what other Tom Clancy characters could become crossover characters in Rainbow Six Siege, one of them does come to mind, and that is none other than Nomad. Wait, I mean the other Nomad. I'm talking about Anthony Perryman, aka Nomad, from the game Ghost Recon. He has actually already worked with Rainbow operatives in the crossover missions in both Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Ghost Recon Wildlands. As far as the lore behind them concerns, I don't class them as canon, and I don't know if Ubisoft have officially stated them as canon. It kind of clashes with the Nighthaven storyline, so for now I'm going to class these as non-canon until they're stated otherwise. But we could find a way to bring this Nomad into Rainbow Six Siege as a new operator. Now for starters, we can't call him Nomad because Nomad's already an operator in Rainbow Six Siege, so let's change his codename to Ghost. I mean, he is the leader of the Ghost team in Ghost Recon, and heck, when they put Sam Fisher in the game, they called him Zero instead of Sam, so I'm pretty sure that we can make this change. And I think this would be absolutely sick. And for starters, his default look could be his look in Ghost Recon Wildlands. They could 100% bring a brand new AR to the game with him being the one wielding it. Just like how they brought Sam Fisher into the game with the SC3000K from Splinter Cell, they could bring in one of the primary weapons from Ghost Recon. Now, Ghost Recon does use a lot of the same weapons that are in Rainbow Six Siege, but there is a bunch of them which have not been used in Siege yet, so this would be a perfect time for them to bring in a new one. He would of course be an attacker, and his operator icon should be the Ghost Recon skull. Now I would say it could have been the logo on his hat, but it looks very similar to Maestro, so let's go with the skull. So he will have the name Ghost, a brand new weapon, and be representing the Ghost Recon franchise. And for lore aspects as well, I wouldn't put him in the Rainbow operational staff because I don't think he is as high up as Sam Fisher, rather just alongside the other operators. They could have a really cool lore story to tie this all in. Now let's talk about his gadget, which is probably the main part of any operator, and it's kind of a make or break. I would give Ghost as an attacker a flying drone as a gadget. I'm very surprised that they have never added a flying drone as an attacking gadget in 7 years, almost 8 years of Rainbow Six Siege. If I was someone in charge of designing gadgets, this would have been at the top of my list, and I would have thought about this years ago. And I'm not saying that Ubisoft haven't thought about this, they probably did, and they've probably messed around with it and probably just deemed it not viable for the game, but I'm going to give it a little gimmick which I think would be very useful. Now I'm actually going to use Rainbow Six Extraction as an example here, and just hear me out guys. In Extraction, Echo's drone has actually been tweaked from Rainbow Six Siege. So in Rainbow Six Siege, if you want to move Echo's drone around, it has to be flying on the floor and then it can stick to a ceiling. However, in Extraction, you can fly his drone around completely freely, you don't have to stick it to any surface, and you can just fly around concussing and killing enemies. So let's take this concept of the drone and make it fly around like it does in Rainbow Six Extraction. Of course, we're still talking about Ghost, not Echo. This drone could be placed in certain locations to watch spawn peaks, watch runouts. Let's say the breach on CCTV is open on Clubhouse, and you want to watch that whilst you're pushing rafters. You could fly the drone by the open breach and get one of your teammates to sit on it whilst it hovers there. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking right now, you can do this with a normal drone. You can do this with Zero. Heck, Sam Fisher's cameras are actually really good in events like this, and he's actually an extremely underrated operator, but that is a video for another day. So yes, in this aspect, this drone will be doing the same thing which other cameras can do on attack. I'm not reinventing the wheel there, the camera still works as a recon tool like anyone else, but you can fly it around rather than driving it. However, here's where the gimmick of the gadget comes in. And I've got a variety of different ideas here, so I want you guys to let me know which one is your favorite. We could also kind of go down the same route as Echo. This drone could have some form of concussion ability. Maybe the drone might have an underbarrel which has one of Zophia's concussion grenades linked to it. This could be used in many scenarios. Let's say the bandit is bandit tricking CC Roll on Clubhouse. Usually if you're Zofia and you want to stun the breach, you have to go to the window or try and get it through the drone hole. Of course, when you stun a bandit whilst he's bandit tricking, it will take him out of the animation and stop the placement. So let's say you're at the window with Zofia, you are at risk of getting shot from construction. With the drone by Ghost, you can maybe fly it through the drone hole, or you could fly it through the window and shoot the concussion into the bandit. The downside being there is that you would need a gun originally to open up the barricade for the drone to get in. But what would make this different from Zero and Twitch is they destroy utility and he only concusses. differences. Let's give another example. The same way that Echo can stop an attacker from planting the diffuser and potentially win the round, Ghost could then be used to stop a defender from defusing the diffuser and then win the round himself. It would be like an Uno reverse card version of Echo. Echo stops the plan, Ghost stops the defuse. So let's say overtime match point is 4-4, this round is for the win. You get the diffuser down and it's a 1v1. You want to of course play it safe, so you go to a safe location and deploy your flying drone. The defender is going to have to defuse this diffuser somehow and they want to get you out of the picture. Now if they go for the defuse, you can concuss them whilst they're defusing and make the time run out and you win, but they also can shoot your camera as well, so if you're in a faraway location using your camera and it gets shot, they might have enough time to defuse before you actually physically get to them. The same way as when you play Echo, you have to make sure that you're in a safe location so you're not getting shot whilst you're on your drone, but you also have to take in the fact that your drone can be shot and then it's down to you with a gun in your hand. I know this does sound quite lazy because it literally is just Echo but on attack, but for being honest, what would actually be wrong with that? That would allow for a lot of cool moments to happen. It doesn't make Echo useless and it doesn't make Ghost useless because they're on opposing sides. They both still have their purposes. Ghost can of course be shot, Echo can of course be shot, both their drones can be shot. Ghost of course has to watch out for Rooney gates because that will destroy his camera. Mute jammers will of course disable that, but you can fly over them. Solace would of course be a counter to him as well. You fly your drone into a room, you concuss the guy, and then you can take the gunfight with a guy who is concussed. I just really like the concept of being able to concuss someone who is trying to defuse the diffuser, because if I'm not wrong here, Zofia is the only attacker that can stop a defender from defusing a diffuser without actually having to kill them. Her concussion grenades takes them off the animation, but the defender is still alive. So I honestly think adding a drone which also has a concussion aspect to it as well would open this level of play up even more, other than just Zofia being the only one who can stop a diffuser with her gadget in that sense. Because honestly, that does sound really interesting to me. Now the next one I don't like as much, but would still be really cool and would be more intel based. They will be live pinged if they are in a certain area of effect until they shoot the camera. This would be good for a lot of players who don't have very good teammates and don't have a lot of coordination with each other. It would basically be a drone which actually doesn't need anyone watching it to give you intel, which means your teammates can focus on other cameras or do something else. That would allow Ghost to have a lot of solo play, as he could fly the drone in the building, put it on a doorway which he wants covered, and the drone will automatically watch that doorway so you can focus on something else. Because you could basically lock down a hallway until the camera's shot. You know, I'm not saying make the camera bulletproof, but the trade-off will be if you're in the camera's line of sight, it will actively ping you, but you can also shoot it. I do, like I said, think this one would be quite cool for solo play. It would be really good for coordination. But I don't know, I think I'm just really hard stuck and really like the idea of having an Echo on attack. So I just think that would lead to so many cool moments, very cool strats and coordinations and clutches and everything, just the same way how Echo does on defense. But of course, this is only my concept and opinion, and you're welcome to disagree. So what do you think? Do you think they should add an Echo on attack? Do you think they should add a flying drone on attack? Do you think it should be a Ghost Recon crossover? Of course, all of this is completely just a concept by me. None of this is real. None of it's come to the game. It could come to the game in the future, but this is just currently a concept. As always, guys, be sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, or dislike it if you did not. The support recently has been absolutely phenomenal. When I've been going through some rough patches and some dark times, you guys have kept me happy and it means the world to me. So let me know your thoughts. I shall catch you guys all in the next video. Have a phenomenal rest of your day. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.